Hey y'all, I'm popping on live because I want to talk about something that I just had an amazing conversation with my dear friend Colty about. Colty just decided to join the Pussy Magic program and I'm so excited. Every time someone circles in to join this program, I am so excited because it means that we get to go deep. We literally get to go deep for 7 months. We're committing to amplifying our art, our self-devotion to self, our amplification of self-worth, and our ability to meet each other within our life, straight up. So freaking exciting. But so something I have a lot of these conversations about is about self-worth, okay? So this is something which is obviously, because I'm talking to you, a one-sided conversation, but I want it to be a group discussion that you have with people over these holidays or your quarantine holidays with the people you're with, is how you can find more self-worth in yourself and your own body just for being. How do you, just being, amplify who you are and the worth you have? It's not about what cool, crazy pole tricks I can do, which aren't very many right now because I have COVID, super weak. It's not about how you look, how good your makeup is, right? How flat my stomach is or what size my breasts are. It's not even about the art I make or the money that I bring in. It's not about any of that. It's truly about how I value myself for who I am and the innate skills that I have. So something doing the Pussy Magic program has taught me, and investing in mentorship with my dear friend Sophia Tom, and with my mentors in private lessons, with the amazing people around me, investing time and energy in traveling and touring and studying and reading and literally reframing my mental capacity with the flow arts. It allows me to value myself for who the hell I am and not what other people put the value on me. So therefore, right, I can accept when you just send me $20 or when you join my Patreon because you think I'm freaking amazing. I know that I'm worth that. When someone hands me a tip as I'm out in a venue where I'm getting paid, I recognize that this is an affirmation of my value. And when you do that for someone else, you recognize their value, okay? So this is an easy thing for us to understand, right? Currency. Because with capitalism, we're hardwired for cold hard cash because that is the universal exchange of energy, our vital energies and our output into a monetary form, which then we can exchange universally for almost anything else, right? That's what money is. It's a placeholder for your time and energy for mutually agreed upon exchange, right? However, when we start to value ourselves more, often as women, and though I'm not POC, I can speak from the stories I've heard told of especially white humans not valuing the stories of people of color, and especially not valuing them as much as the stories of white humans or of white men especially. And so here we get to change the paradigm and value our stories and ourselves simply for being who we are in this moment, right now. Whether we're sick or weak or strong or virile, we are valuable, no matter what the external world tells us. And so when we can see that true value, we can begin to accept and love who we are at this very moment because we exist, for no other factor than that. We don't have to impress anyone. We don't have to bring anything to the table. What the fuck is the table? We don't have to do anything in order to earn this self-love, to earn this deep appreciation of self. So in my mind, and in my studies and in my own personal experience, this self-love stems from a practice where we start to appreciate the self exactly as we are right now, and then we start to appreciate the self, and we start to love the self. Oh, look at that, it's cute, right? And then we start to love who we are. We start to value who we are. We start to create ourselves as this magnetic being simply by being and by corroborating that we exist. And so the conversation I have the most in talking to people about this Pussy Magic program, most people are like, you know, Gaea, I'll just join your Patreon because it's really hard for me to raise this much money. And frankly, what they're saying to me, what you're saying to me is I don't value myself enough to invest $430 a month into my own art exploration and into a community of art that allows me to value myself, because it's scary, because the world doesn't always value us as women, as erotic beings, as othered, as artists. And so when we have that vote of confidence, when you vote in your own self-expansion, when you are ready, when you say yes and take that investment leap into yourself, you are going to thrive. And believe me, it only takes an ounce of willingness to appreciate yourself. And then it takes an ounce more of willingness to believe that your art and your story is worth telling. And then from there, you can begin to spiral into a place of self-appreciation and then self-love and of valuing yourself. And believe me, when you value yourself, when you truly value yourself, even outside of monetary exchange or within it, you begin to crack capitalism. You begin to dismantle what the world tells us that our value is. Because the world tells us, the capitalist world tells us we are only as valuable as that money that we make for our superiors. It tells us that we're only as valuable as the outputs we put into the world. But yet, when we can reverse that, shift the paradigm, and value ourselves in the fucking struggle bus? That's me trying to lift myself up on the pole right now. Struggle. When we can value that flow, that release, that creative process, we can begin to break through our own barriers and truly value ourselves, and then invest in ourselves. So every time a woman, a femme identifier, tells me they are investing in the Pussy Magic program, I celebrate them. Not because, right, because they are paying me for this, but because they can see that they can get currency from the world outside and invest it in themselves into something that is growth-inducing and self-love inducing, and that supports their art, because that is not the paradigm we live in. It's not. Right? How many of y'all have hired a performer and paid them more than $300 for a show? Just a question. You know, like we need to value art more, because art is the way, artists are the visionaries that tell the stories that change and shape our lives. And so when we invest in ourselves to make art, to live life as art, and to invest especially in women's stories and listening to those and seeing this world reimagined by the feminine brain, which is then in balance with the masculine, because everything is so patriarchal, right? When we have more femme stories out there, when we truly listen to them, acknowledge them, and support them with our time, energy, and money and resources, and give back, that helps to corroborate this self-love within self, okay? It's not about the money, but also in a capitalistic world, money's how you vote. And so put your money towards what you believe in. Invest in yourself. And all my guys listening here, because I see a lot of you are here, invest in the women in your lives. Sign up for my Patreon if I inspire you. Send someone $50 simply because they're freaking awesome and tell them to go buy some art supplies or sign them up for a class, right? And support that art in every way you can, because that's how we change this paradigm, and that's how we find self-value and self-love in a capitalistic society, by rerouting it and investing in those things that don't always make us money right now, but that support our art and our expression and our direct correlation to the world. So thanks for listening. If any of you have any questions, you can pop them into the chat right now. I'm here because I want to be having these conversations. It makes a lot of difference to speak about this. So, all of you, I'm so excited for this Pussy Magic program. Check it out. If you're considering it and you're watching this, invest in yourself. And call me. I'm here to talk to you about it. It literally changes your paradigm when you invest in yourself. Okay?